Okay, David, a 1-0 win against Widnes today. Another hard-fought victory today.
Yeah, they were a good side. We knew they would be. We watched them last week when they beat Bootle 2-0. They've started the season well. They were well organised. They were hard working. They had some quality in the play. So we knew it'd be a tough game. I thought a little bit of quality we had for the goal was great cross, good finish. I thought we had another couple of big chances, but equally we needed Tomo to pull us out a couple of times, first half especially. So hard fought, could have perhaps been more comfortable, but certainly not an easy win, and 1-0 probably a fair reflection.
You said you just said it there really. Chris Thompson made probably 3 pretty decent stops in the first half. Come out with some big commanding catches in the second half from balls in. Exactly what you've brought him in for. Couldn't have asked for more.
Just calmness, composure, distributes well, comes and claims his crosses, talks to his back line, and when needed makes big saves. I mean, there was one he made where he closed the ground down and made the save with his body, and it was just excellent textbook goalkeeping. So it just gives their players in front that extra bit of confidence. And we set a target, no more than 38 goals to be conceded. 3 games in, we're at 3 goals. So talks a lot about Tomo and the back line, in fairness.
Probably don't want him trying to take strikers on too much.
Don't mind that at all. So if he's confident to do it, I think that was a better option than kicking out for throwing on the other side. Yeah. So if he's comfortable doing that, I'm okay with it.
Not good for the heart.
There's plenty of other things that aren't good for my heart, yeah, and that's not very high up the list.
Another clean sheet, 2 clean sheets in a row at home. Josh Dickin and Luke Barlow have again really solid today. You've got to be pleased with their partnership blossoming.
Stood up and stood to be counted, and Killer was injured tonight, but those two have kept Killer out of the side, and that's saying a lot. He's played with Football League experience, hundreds of games under his belt, and he understands why he's not getting in. If you look at 22 and 23, but they're starting to play like players who are a lot more mature than that. I thought when they had that's defence tonight, they headed things, they kicked things, they won tackles, and there's always things we want them to improve, and we talked about things we want to improve, but at their age and the attitudes they've got, they're only going to get better.
And you up front, you've got Umar Kamara, who a really thankless task today, but worked his socks off today.
Got us massive yards today. The number of times the ball was pinging into him and he was getting something, either a free kick or he was holding it up and dropping it off for somebody else to play. Didn't really get a chance. Unlike Umar, who was unlucky on Saturday, hit the bar with a really good header. It's rare that he doesn't get something with his timely runs into the box, but he did all the horrible hard yards, all the donkey work. And I thought Keaton as well, actually, he never stopped running. I think those two really exemplified really what we're about in terms of relentlessness and hard work and graft, and really putting in a shift for the team.
And your midfield, it seems to be getting more and more difficult to pick all the time. But one player who stood out again today, Bailey Marsden, who just seems to be taking it up and up. And I think, I don't know what anyone else thought, but from where we were, if he'd have scored that goal at the end, I don't think people would ever have stopped talking about that.
He probably scores 2 or 3 of them a week in training. It's something he just does naturally, the way he carries the ball and swivels his hips and rolls his studs across it. We know he's going to do it, players know he's going to do it in training, he dances past them. So it probably wasn't as surprising to us on the benches as he was to the fans, but I think if you look at what he did today, he won headers, he covered ground, he won tackles, he was breaking up play, he was switching the ball, he was making forward passes. There was one way kick, ball rolling, 3 ball midfield, stepped in, played it into a 40-yard ball down the wing, and then he was making a long bursting run into the box to try and get on the end of it. I think he's a proper box-to-box midfielder. He's another player who's only going to get better. He's a young player, and he's already come back this season. You can see he's fitter, he's stronger, starts to put a bit of muscle on. He just looks a cut above at the moment, which is great to see. He's got so much potential, and he's starting to fulfil that.
He seems like a more mature player on the pitch. Like that experience of the last 2 years has really done him proper good.
Yeah, he's now got 50 odd 60 Northern Premier League games under his belt, and you can see that. You can see he's timing his runs, he's picking his passes much better than he did before. And he'll still make mistakes, and everybody will make mistakes. But if you look at the mistakes he makes, they're becoming fewer and fewer. And if you look at the big positive moments he's influencing, there's 2 or 3 times every game where he's doing something that's a key pass or a good cross or a shot or a goal, and he's really starting to step up.
and we move on where we head into bank holiday weekend, 2 games in 3 days.
Yeah.
Thoughts on how you prepare for them two, and is rotation on your mind between the 2 games?
We're definitely going to rotate. We had a bit of rotation tonight. Joe Richards came out for no reason other than rotation with Nicky. I thought Nicky needed to start. We changed Callum and Mark. I thought Callum's a different type of player and offers something a little bit different. But we've probably got a couple of tight legs there, so we'll look at that Saturday, and then there'll be probably a few more changes for Trafford. The way we are at the moment, it's not a particular worry about rotation because the quality we've got and the depth we've got. Today I've come to a couple of people looking an hour in, and you look around, you've got Andy Keogh and Mark Lees on the bench. You can come on and bring bags of experience and see the game out and make sure we do the ugly things right, and make sure we manage the game and manage the referee and get the ball into the right areas and hold things up. And that's something we just couldn't call on last year. So that depth will be massive this weekend. It's a crazy time, isn't it? We've got tonight, Saturday, Monday, so that's 3 games in 6 days, and we can have 3 substitutes in each of those. And the Premier League can name about 330 players and bring 5 of them on, and complain if they've got a couple of games a week. So these lads have all come from work today to come and do this, so there'll be some tired bodies, and we'll factor that in training on Thursday. Training on Thursday will be a much lighter session, and we'll be about making sure we've recovered properly and we're ready for a really tough 72 hours.
And since we last spoke to you, FA Cup draw has been made. We go to Bamber Bridge a week on Saturday. Thoughts on that draw?
Not a draw I would have liked particularly. A very good side in the league above away. If you look at all the possibilities that you could have had, it wouldn't have been high on the list. But it'll be a good place to go. I know Bamber Bridge is a side who likes to get it down and play. John Butterworth went there, and he's an obvious player to go into a team who play that style of football. So I think it was two teams who are trying to play football, good football. So it'll be a different test to the ones we've had in the last couple of games. I think they'll be good. I think we'll have to be on it. Timing is dreadful because we'll be out a couple of bodies for different reasons as well, a couple of influential players. But that's where the squad depth is gonna be so important to us. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a really tough game, but we're gonna go for it because we want to do well in the cup. We want to do well in the FA Cup. If we can, we want to do well in the Manchester Premier Cup, and we want to do well in the trophy. Cup runs just add that little bit of extra. It's that kind of icing on the cake. You have a good cup run and do well in the league. I've said this before. The fans remember the cup runs and talk about the cup runs much more than they remember the 1-0s against Widnes on a Tuesday night, or the 0-0s over at City Liverpool or whatever it might be. They remember those cup games, so we want to do well.
Thanks, David. Well done for today, and we'll see you on Saturday.
Thanks.